evening, everyone. Hi, Sister Pauline. I see you. So, how's everyone doing this evening? As you know, today is the day of double duty, so I'm so grateful and blessed that you guys are so patient with me as I make the transition from one to another. And I still have a bunch of stuff on, my desk from the show, so thank you so much for just being patient. But we are having an awesome week. It's Thursday. We have one more day of our devotional, Your Personal Calling. And tonight's topic is evidence of personal calling. And it is an amazing thing because sometimes, we may not understand or know why do we need to have evidence of it, or what does that mean? And so we want to just definitely go into it and really talk about it and wonder what is going on, things like that. We will be going from a couple of scriptures. It's going to be John, the 10th chapter and the 27th verse, and Romans, the 8th chapter and the 14th verse. Both are going to come from the King James Version. And I actually am going to screen share those, and I'm going to read those scriptures for you. So let's just make a little adjustment. I'm going to just make some adjustments with the nice, branding and backgrounds that we lovely have. But we want you to be able to fully, see the scriptures so that we can read them together. So I don't want anything, impeding that. So we are going to share the screen. And we're going to do the full. We're going to do it in full. And John 10:27 says, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And Romans 8:14 says, for as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. And that is the scripture text for today. We're going to add our banner back up. So wonderful. And so when we talk about evidence of a personal call, let's think about evidence. Anytime someone says you have to have evidence of something, they want to see, the deeds. They want to see everything signed, sealed, and delivered. They want to know what's going on, how it's going on, and things like that. They want to know it all. That's what they want. They want the details. They want to show proof. They want proof that you are who you say you are and how you say you are. They're not trying to take your word for it. They want you to show some receipts about it. Like, we talk about how the kids say, where's them receipts, So now my thing is, the question we can ask ourselves is, what evidence do we have that we're responding to God's call on our life? Now, I can answer that for myself. And I didn't always know this answer because I was confused. Because it was like, how do I know if, I am answering his call? For a long time, I wasn't. So that was easy. It was like, I didn't have any evidence that I was doing it because I wasn't. I began to realize and saw that I was responding to the call when others were touched and others were moved and they were being better in their lives. They were moving forward in their lives. That was my evidence that I was responding to what God had told me to do. Many people, who work, for a church or in a Christian organization, we may be convinced that we're called to be in this place for such a time as this, so Jesus said, my sheep hear my voice and I know them and they follow me. This is real great news. We can hear his voice. He came so that there wouldn't be any intermediary between us hearing his voice and somebody else. So, before he came, there always had to be an intermediary between, man and God. It was usually the priest. So we don't have to have that intermediary anymore. We can distinctly hear him talking to us and moving through us. Like we can have that direct connection. You know, the Bible, God's love letter to mankind, his love letter, his instruction guide, his manual to us, it makes it clear that we were created to have two-way communication with him. We're back to the main focus of identity, which was Monday's topic. We have to have primary focus, our primary goal is to have a concrete relationship with him. And that goes by two-way communication. You know, you don't think about a marriage and think that it's just going to work because y'all are in the same house and that y'all are doing the same things. Like you don't think that, do you? I hope not. I hope you don't think. Okay, I don't know what just happened. That was crazy. We are not having this today, the enemy, the whatever. We are not having it today. We're not having it today. I'm not playing with you today. So, of course, the camera just went completely out for no apparent reason, but to try to torture my soul. But, you know, enemy, we are not going there today. We're not. So, as I was saying, our identity, our primary focus and goal is to have a concrete communication and relationship with him. You know, if you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, you're at a job. You don't just decide to that you just because you're there, it's going to be okay and you don't have to talk to nobody. That, you know, your spouse is going to do all the talking and all the decision making and all the things, and you just going to sit there and chill like it's nothing. That's not going to happen. That is definitely not how it works. So again, we're coming back to the point of knowing the evidence of your call. You would know the evidence because you have established the primary goal of having that relationship with him, of having those conversations with him back and forth. Like everything that you're doing. Hi, Kia, how are you? So you're going to have those conversations. And then when you're having that conversation with him and you're strong in that relationship, you're going to flow through your purpose. You're going to throw through the gifts that he's giving you, you know, and all of that flows so that you know that you're having, you know, you're walking in your calling. But it first starts with understanding what your identity is, understanding who you are and whose you are. Because in everything that we move through, in every study that we have, in every devotional that we'll do from here on out, it will all hinge on one thing, and that is a relationship with God, communication with him. You know, I talk to him like I talk to you. You know, just as I was saying on my show earlier today, I had in my head what I was going to do, and he did something otherwise. And I was just like, what's wrong? Like, why can't I do it this way? What's going on? Why can't, you know, I was having that same conversation, and he answered me. And I was like, okay. And I did what he told me to do. But that's when you having that great relationship with him that you can move forward and you can do those things. You know, as children of God, we have the confidence that we'll hear his voice. We hear from him because we have a personal relationship with him. There's that magic word again, relationship. You know, the Apostle Paul writes, for as many are led by the Spirit of God, these are the sons of God. Now, this scripture implies that if we are God's children, his Spirit will lead us. He could speak through, you know, he could speak to us through his word. The Holy Spirit illuminates God's truth in our lives. As we live in his Spirit, he can also speak to us through prayers, through the church, you know, as we seek counsel from godly people and even our circumstances. And I can honestly say he spoke a lot of time through me through my circumstances, because there were times that I just wouldn't listen. So my circumstances provided a basis for him to have an unfiltered, uninterrupted conversations with me, because therefore I wasn't using things to block him. I wasn't using things above him. I wasn't focused on anything else. In those bottom moments, I could only focus on him. So he used a lot of those moments to communicate with me how he needed me to move, what he needed me to do, and what I needed to correct, and to also not only to love me, but to also provide correction. So he can speak to you and use you in various ways. The life, walking in the life of faith, it can open our eyes and we see ourselves and the world around us in new ways. The closer that we walk with God, the more we understand our part in his plan for this world. We trust that he's calling us, towards something that's the best for us. So we respond with faith to the provisions he's made for us to serve. Now, like I've always said, when he calls you, he's going to equip you. He's going to prepare you. He is going to do those things that are necessary so that you can move forward. He's not going to just leave you out there all willy-nilly, like the kids say. I'm probably dating myself when I say that, but he's not going to leave you out there to dry. He's going to prepare you. And then if you're someone like me, and I can say this, we get to the point where we just want to do what we want to do, when we want to do, how we want to do it. And you want to be hard-headed. What did your grandma say? A hard head makes a what? A soft behind. Used to do that to me often. You're like, God, why I got to go through this again? Because you didn't listen. Why I got to take this test again? Why do I have to do all this stuff again? Because you didn't listen. So therefore, you're going to keep doing this until you get it together. Be like, really? So it's like, it taught me that, okay, I'm tired of repeating the same thing over. I want to live my fullest life. So I'm going to be obedient. Now, there's some days that I slip up because circumstances, trials, human things happen. Reality, world, the things of the world of life happens. And so I don't want you to condemn yourself if you have a day and you felt like you just wanted to body slam somebody or choke slam somebody. Now, I don't want you to go do it. Let me say that. I don't want you to go do it. But I understand what it feels like when you want to do that, because you've just been pushed to your last end of your rope and you don't know what else to do or how else to move, and you are just frustrated. I get that. But see, it is not in having the thought or whatever. It's in staying in the thought and acting on the thought. That's what that is. So therefore, you can have the thought, you can have that bad day, but then it's just like, you know what, Lord, I thank you for allowing me to wake up this morning. I thank you for being clothed in my right mind. I thank you for the activity of my limbs. I thank you for the position. I thank you for the job. I thank you for the coworkers that are surrounded, because you know what? Sometimes we're placed in positions for a reason and for a season. See, for some people, we may be the only light that they see. We may be the only love that they see. Compassion. Who knows what they go through when they go home? Who knows what their day-to-day is? Some are dealing with sick parents, siblings that are sick, friends and loved ones that are sick. Some of them, they're not happy. Some of them haven't come into their full healing about what they need to do. So we have to be that light. We have to walk in love. But building that means building a relationship with Christ, and he's always going to show you how to do it. Because for those who know me, know that I have not always been the kindest or the warmest person on certain things, because usually when it's on and popping, it's on and popping. I haven't always had that self-discipline. We were going to fight. We were going to fight. But I'm grateful to serve a God who, in spite of those situations, still was able to use me, still forgave me, and then allowed me to move forward. So that didn't define me. Now, that's another thing, the world will define us based on the actions of our past. But that is not what God does. God uses our past as a foundation of growth so that we can fully walk in our calling. So it's going to be there, regardless of what we've done in our past, regardless of who we didn't like or the things and trials and tribulations we went through. It is ours. And he is going to fully prepare us to do so. He will. Again, like I always say, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but it's always going to be worth it. You're going to lose some friends, some family. You're going to lose people who you thought had your back. And it's not losing them because they were such bad people, but they do not line up with where God needs to take you. We can't take everybody. We have to do what God needs us to do so that he can bring others along. So for the friends and the loved ones that we're trying to hold on to, he wants us to leave because they're going to come behind us because we are the persons and the trailblazers that are going to blaze the path for them to come. So is it difficult? Yes. Does it hurt? Yes. But it's so worth it. It is really, 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 truly so worth it. So what do I want you guys to do for your personal reflection tonight? Now, remember, this and tomorrow night, it will lead up into a culmination of creating our own personal calling statement. And Monday, what will happen is that we will do a special, we'll be here at 7 and we'll do a special one just to go over that. So we'll work on it on the weekend. And for anyone who may want to come on and talk about what theirs are and those who don't, that is perfectly okay. But we'll just go through it, talk about it and things like that. And then we'll carry on the rest of the week with the other devotional. We'll kind of lead into it and things like that. But we'll have a special one to go over our personal calling statement. So don't worry about that. You'll have everything that you need. If you're not in the group, find us on Facebook at YV Daily Devotionals. That is Y is in yellow, V is in Victor, Daily Devotionals. It will be on the end credit at the end of the devotional. Find us there. We have all of the content, the lesson content, all of the good stuff there. So you can easily find your way. So tonight's personal reflection, what you're going to do is you're going to read John 10 and 7. John 10 and 7 and Romans 8 and 14. And you're going to respond to the following questions. Again, this will be in the group. The first question will be, what are you most passionate about doing? Where or in doing what do you experience? So when you're doing what you're most passionate doing, what do you experience? What is it like? Is it a deep gladness? What do you feel in doing what you're passionate about? And number 2, what gifts and talents had God given you to equip you for what you are doing? How do they allow you to meet the needs of others? And so what I am, hold up. It's John 10:27. Let me put that in. John 10:27. So again, what I'll also do in the link in the group is put in a link to so that you can understand what your gifts are, your spiritual gifts. That would be like a great thing to move forward and see, where your gifts are and do they align up with your passion, and do some more studying. And again, it'll be a fun part to help with the personal call statement. Okay, so I will put all of this in the group. Now, if you're not a part of the group and you still want the content, you can hit me up on the page. And most of you are on my personal page seeing this. Hit me up on the page and I'll find a way to get you the content so that you can also create your personal calling statement. I definitely want everyone who is watching to be able to do so. So I will definitely find a way for everyone to be able to get this particular assignment, because I feel that this is so important. Because in understanding, your personal call, when you have a statement, you're basically making a statement of saying, this is my call and these are the things that I'm going to do to fulfill that, and how I want to walk and how I'm going to be that light. And you can literally put it on your dresser, on your mirror, and you can read it daily. So I definitely want everyone to participate in this. Okay, again, for those who are listening, the scriptures for this evening was John, the 10th chapter and the 27th verse, and Romans, the 8th chapter and the 14th verse. So I want you all to definitely be blessed. I want you to, if you're not a part of the group, definitely join us. Again, it is YV Daily Devotionals YV Daily Devotionals. I done already gave it a website. Oh my Lord. I think I need to tell Minister Peterson we may need to do a website. We may have to do a website. But definitely YV Daily Devotionals. Definitely come on and join the group. We have all of the content in there. And you'll find so many things. There's a list on different scriptures, to begin to learn and memorize, to keep close to you. We have so much in there. It's like a big family in there. And so come on, you want to come on and join. But know that I love you guys. I am praying for the best for you. We will be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. We was only at 8:15 today because there was the show. But at 8 p.m. tomorrow, we will be back here finishing up what your personal calling is. And you'll love tomorrow's topic. It really does fall in line to our personal call. And it'll help us to understand the things that you need to have. Okay. Know that I love you guys. Know that we are, praying for you. We do have the link for prayer requests. For some of them, I know Minister Peterson may put it out there. I will put it back out in the groups that didn't get hit. So if you have a prayer request, a testimony, definitely come on and join us. Hi, Sister Marilyn. I see you. You can be on the replay. I'm glad you got in safely. But know that we love you. Know that we're praying for you. And our ultimate goal is to make sure that you are always good. So again, join the group. But we'll see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. in the same location. Love you. Be blessed and have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful evening. Good night.